It bit me twice, and then I picked it up and punched it when I realized it was a shark.
When the shark had grabbed a hold of my hand, my whole hand went to his mouth.
I saw the shark's tail and the blood in the water. It was like a crime scene.
I've never seen them that close to the beach.
I was just screaming shark and shark over and over again.
Chilling interviews about shark attacks in our waters. Why 4 swimmers were bitten just 4 days apart last September.
It's absolutely predictable in the fall that we'll have a mullet run, and when there's a mullet run, there's going to be a feeding frenzy of lots of animals.
Professor George Burgess is a world-renowned shark expert. He blames the attacks on bait fish that were spewing out of the St. Johns River the same week, drawing bull and black-tip sharks ever so close to our beaches.
Sharks ain't dummies. They didn't claw to the top of the food chain without some assets. And like many other animals, have a sense of timing, of seasonality and so forth.
With the ocean off our coast murky, the water hard to see in, Burgess says sharks confused Josh Bittner's leg, this 16-year-old's hand, and this local surfer's foot as mullet. That run typically happens at the end of September, the beginning of October, but it happened to come early this year, that week of September 14th. But regardless of what time of year it is, it turns out that swimmers are making mistakes that they're not even aware of that are causing them to look a lot like bait to sharks. In fact, ask a Jacksonville Beach mom. She was attacked by a bull shark last June, and Professor Burgess seems to think that it had to do with the color of her toenail polish.
It was sort of a bright blue that contrasted very strongly with the dark tanned feet that she had from being out on the beach. And so the color on those 10 little toes looked a lot like a school of fish.
Burgess says swimmers should avoid any bright colored polish. While sharks can't see the color, they can see the contrast it creates and confuse it with the bright and dark contrast of a fish, which is why swimmers should always avoid yellow or even white bathing suits. And something else you may not know?
Unfortunately, we've seen on more than one occasion the shark biting a tattooed area when the tattoo is strikingly different from usually paled skin.
Burgess says sharks confuse tattoos for fish. He thinks this Texas woman's tattoo on her back is why she was attacked as she snorkeled in the Bahamas last January.
So I swam over there, and she pulled herself up on the boat, and she was missing half her back.
Burgess thinks an 8-foot bull shark is responsible for Lacey Martin's vicious bite. She spent weeks in the hospital.
When they bite, they're going to make a real nasty bite. So
this is the jaw of a bull shark, which just so happens to love warm, shallow, silty water, just like what we have off our coast. Professor Burgess also says it is a terrible idea to ever go surfing or swimming anywhere near a fishing pier. So, for example, here at Jack's Beach, you definitely want to stay, he says, at least a block away from the water when you're this close to the pier. That also goes for if you ever get into the water and someone is casting off the beach and fishing. Get out of the water. And this is a very common color used by divers as well as boaters. Professor Burgess says that he calls this yum yum yellow. He says sharks love it and can see it very well. Jennifer Waugh, Channel 4, the local station.